Hi, welcome to HR Tech Orbit, and I'm Mohnish. So, in our previous episode, we learned that HR technology supports multiple areas of employee journey within an organization, right from recruitment and onboarding to payroll to performance management, learning experience, or even employee experience. But this raises an interesting question in our mind that if all of these activities are happening within an organization, then what kind of system manages all these areas? From where the payroll gets data, where is employee information getting stored, or even where are leave balances getting updated? And how organizations are able to manage the data of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of employees without losing the control over the information. And the answer is HRMS. And today in this video we'll be learning what HRMS is and why do organizations need HRMS. So when people hear the term HRMS, they often think that it is just another software application. But trust me, it is much more than that. HRMS stands for Human Resource Management System. And in simple words, it is a system that helps organizations manage employee information and HR processes in a structured and in a centralized way. Think of it like a digital home of employee data. So instead of storing information in spreadsheets, emails, folders, files, organizations prefer to store this information into a single system that can become a source of truth for multiple activities within an organization. Now let's take a simple example. So if today, let's say an employee joins a company and tomorrow the company needs some sort of information regarding that employee, be it his name, employee ID, joining location, joining date, department, or might be other things. Now imagine maintaining all this informations of each and every employees. And by the way, let's say we have the database of 10,000 employees into a spreadsheet, then it would be a very tough task for the organization to update the informations, to pull out the information, or even to find the data at the right time. Now, this is where HRMS helps. Now, here is something very interesting. Many employees interact with HRMS without even realizing it. So, for example, when you apply for a leave, or when you upload some document to company's portal, or when you update your personal information, or even download your payslip, there's a high chance you are interacting with HRMS. For employees, these activities might appear very simple, but trust me, behind the scenes, system is managing and organizing massive amount of information. And that's why HRMS has become an essential part of modern organizations. Now let's understand what HRMS really is with the help of a slide. So whenever we talk about an HRMS, four elements come together, and they are employees, HR processes, information, and a centralized system. Employee generates information, HR processes use that information, and HRMS stores, organizes, and manages it. And as a result, everyone works using the same information. And this is why HRMS is often called a single source of truth. One system, one employee record, one trusted version of information. Now let's talk about something very interesting. Different people in an organization might need employee information for different reasons. For example, HR team needs to have employee records. A manager needs to have information of his own team. Payroll team might need to have information on payroll related data, or even employee need to have access to their own information. Now imagine every team maintained separate employee data, and soon there would be a conflict, different information, different versions. So HRMS avoids all these problems and becomes a source of truth to everyone in an organization. An employee's journey within an organization keeps on changing constantly. For example, he joins the organization. After some time, he's getting promoted. So his designation is getting changed. His salary structure is getting changed. His location is getting changed. Or sometimes he's traveling to different countries for different projects. So, despite all these changes, it is very important for an organization to track the historical data of an employee's journey, because who knows when the company might need this historical data. And HRMS helps maintaining this consistency. And this is what a centralized employee management means. HRMS at the center. Think of HRMS as the central hub of employee information. Employee interacts with it, HR teams depends on it, payroll teams use it, managers access information through it, and many other HR processes connect to it. And the goal is simple: to ensure that everyone work using accurate, consistent, and up to date information. And that's the real power of HRMS. So by now we clearly understand that HRMS is not just a software. It acts as a central foundation for employee information and HR processes. It helps organizations manage employee records or employee information consistently. And above all, it creates a single source of truth across the organization. But this naturally leads to another important question, that what exactly can HRMS do? How it manages employee records, how it manages payroll data, how it is managing the leave balances. And that exactly we'll be discussing in our next video. So if you found this video valuable, then please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to HR Tech Orbit. And I'll see you in the next episode of this channel. Bye.